and we don't talk this to the press before. We receive through the government 306 billion leones. To be very precise, 306 billion, 399 million, 48,407 billion leones that we don't really receive. And I can push high a little bit, but we're not done for do the reconciliation for December 8th. But in addition to that amount, we deploy 9.7 additional billion up to December 15 into the response. But for up to November 30, at least we get some unaudited financials, what I think is important for the public to know. Exactly waiting, we don't deploy the resources then they into.
Yes, it will be very necessary for let the public know waiting, not don't use the money for in the fight.
Thank you. Well, for the fight, like I just start, we get about 5-6 strategic strands what we use for intervene into the COVID itself. First, get to do with establishing the operational coordination, command and control architecture itself. And that means the establishment of NACOVAC itself as an agency responsible for national response, will provide national guidance. And then you get the DICOVAC structure will set up with a decentralized structure. But on top of all of this, for every decision that we take, the structure of NACOVAC is such that it is led by the presidency. So we get presidential task force. We get members, let's say members of government, higher level, and then scientific group, we then call the stage. We now advise the task force, and then we feed into our architecture for delivery. So we get the command and control and coordination. On that, actually, we don't spend 146 billion, which we use for establishing NACOVAC, capacitator with personnel, but also capacitator with equipment and infrastructure, IT and the like, vehicles, for ensure we will respond. And we do the same thing similarly across the country when we decentralize. And decentralization was informed purely by a decision to say every district can be self-contained, very well capacitated for respond to the emergency or the pandemic anytime a case or a semblance of a case they emerge from any given district. So that decentralized architecture will spend 14.6 billion on that. And I would like for push along the value chain of responding to the pandemic itself. You get what we call surveillance. So in surveillance, we spend 24.5 billion. Okay. Now we don't spend into surveillance. Surveillance now they try for contact trace anybody where say don't come in touch with a positive case, right? So you go out and search for them wherever they are. The list can be very long. We spend, and then once you are able to determine those who are surveillanced, you make sure say you isolate and quarantine them. So in isolation and quarantine, here you are doing what? You're providing services, not only restraining their movement to protect the lives of people in the society, but you make sure say you provide for them, because at that time when they are quarantined and isolated, they don't move out to go and heck out a living. So we provide, as a government, we provide services to them, food in different forms that have been defined and guided by policy, what they call quarantine policy itself. So we spent 22.7 billion since the beginning of the response in April up to November 13.
About 2 weeks to the guest back, we are the Deputy Interim National Coordinator on NACOVAC, Sheku Ahmed Fantamadi Bangura. We continue to look at issues of NACOVAC as we don't explain, give a breakdown of the money we don't receive so far from government and how we don't spend them from April to now. Let we continue to look at the issues and but again we tell listeners and they say we do public education around issues again with the inside the special audit reports we come out, and inside that report they something that they state for say una NACOVAC, especially from the coordination part, una bingi salary allowance, I call them, as you said on states earlier, allowance to about 48 seconded workman them, which means the people who already they work for government, una give allowance them to them, we pass 100% increments, where that go against waiting the Ministry of Finance, where you be deputy minister also dey, waiting the Ministry of Finance been talk, but same people and the way una give work to so. How to this be for say una pay but 46 people and we already in a government work man them, una increase the allowance when about 100% we pass the money within they get now the current side within the work for government.
Okay. So, like I said, I really want to veer deeply into the substance of the audit report. And I have respect for, I get respect
but
for...
when they talk about the finance, then we come in and now want to use them.
Yes, I get respect for the parliamentary process.
We self do.
Yeah, and so I really want to be very cautious on veering into it. However, the issue of the advice from the Ministry of Finance was very clear. And I think the management of NACOVAC take that into consideration when they establish the rates. Where they take pay everybody when they are the strategic team and across the response itself. Some of those allowances were revised. Downwards based on the initial suggestions that were made, where they don't make to the management. And on the issue of people having more allowances or not, most of the people are waiting inside the response. The response is deemed a pandemic, it's an emergency response. Now, risk allowance will give people for the risk of losing your life in the cause of rendering service to protect the lives of other people.
So now, whose category of people una gida increase the way past the current pay within the get from government?
Well, the point I want to say is most of the people that were there, even in the strategic team, that particular job where they do, a job completely different, largely from their regular work. You see, these are completely separate response. It's an emergency, it's a pandemic, for which people get highest risk for loss of their life. That's the value where the government puts on the activities of NACOVAC. We will take establish then rates then. So we're not paying people we're inside the same job, like I mean within our finance. The job I did in NACOVAC completely different from the job I did in the Ministry of Finance. I wear both hats and I still carry on me too responsibility. Very, very
But you don't get the double pay?
Yes, they pay me my regular salary as a minister, deputy minister of finance, and I get additional allowances. So risk allowance for my exposure.
So your allowance, for example, you get a NACOVAC, it pass the pay we get as deputy minister and Ministry of Finance?
I go say yes. Yeah, I go
so
say yes. So
what's the risk we involve you work, for example, when an office work for coordinate?
It's not office work.
What's the risk we involve now you work?
It's not only office work, okay? It's a special dispensation where your work is an emergency, okay? You're working relatively full time without stop.
So what's the risk we involve in that?
It's a risk of loss of life, of contacting COVID, and in the process loss of life.
But not to you to do testing, for example, not to you to go out to the people in a quarantine.
You are directly, everybody working in NACOVAC is directly exposed to the entire risk of COVID-19, okay? Like many other persons, actually. So this is deemed a special emergency operation where we don't value people that we sacrifice for they on the front line that way. That's why I can give you more information about this. Government even decide for cover all the 11,000 plus healthcare workers with a health insurance scheme in case in the process of carrying out their work, any of them get affected. All 11, not only the one that were directly involved.
The reason why Abewale explained the risk we involve na you work, for example, because like how my co-presenter be asked earlier, we all see during the response of this same pandemic, the healthcare worker them, when at the frontline worker, the issues be done they come off, them not being satisfied with the allowance within the get. Then if we they get on our way, like not they directly with the people we get the virus, they see increase of payments even compared to it when the government work a pass them as allowance, then the one that when the frontline workers then get concerned. Now that's make be one for know the risk where they are around your work, for example, compared to person within at the field where like they do test.
The risk of the persons, every individual where they work in NACOVAC is huge. Yeah, for risk of contacting the virus and then losing your life is there. That's the primary foundation of the assessment of risk. And then plus, people they within the strategic team where they put them brain trust into advising and on the technical issues that we'll go for take as advisory for respond to the pandemic. I mean, I must say, even up to the result that we don't get as a country at this point, we assess as a low risk country. As a result of that kind of strategic advisory. We get technically and for make sure say people learn what of the population of the risk of contacting the virus.
You earlier mentioned say the NACOVAC get presidential task force. Then allowance here, would they approve them?
They are approved at the highest level. For all the allowances that have been set up, approved at the highest level. They are
what's at the highest level for listeners?
Well, there are different categories of allowances, right? So the highest level, depending on the category, will be the coordinator and the deputy coordinator and the team on the presentation of the allowances to the presidential task force. That's what it is. Depending on how low it is, we have the executive authority for clear by our own judgment. There are some that are above us, we can weigh up to the task force for approval. That's how it is set up. That's the way the structure was set up. So most of the allowances that are in the response, or they pay people that now allowances and we deemed approved by the highest body with the managers on the presentation of the allowances to the presidential task force. That's what it is. Depending on how low it is, we have the executive authority for clear by our own judgment. There are some that are above us, we can weigh up to the task force for approval. That's how it is set up. That's the way the structure was set up. So most of the allowances that are in the response, or they pay people that now allowances and we deemed approved by the highest body with the managers, which is the presidential task force. There are others where we, as executive, get responsibility for approve. And most of those MOUs that we are taking with healthcare workers, we did at our level. And later on, take them to the task force approval. That's how we set up all the rates for everybody with inside the response. And losing your life is there. That's the primary foundation of the assessment of risk. And then plus, people they within the strategic team where they put them brain trust into advising and on the technical issues that we'll go for take as advisory for respond to the pandemic. I mean, I must say, even up to the result that we don't get as a country at this point, we assess as a low risk country. As a result of that kind of strategic advisory. We get technically and for make sure say people learn what of the population of the risk of contacting the virus.
You earlier mentioned, say, the NACOVAC get presidential task force. Then allowance here, would they approve them?
They are approved at the highest level. For all the allowances that have been set up, approved at the highest level. They are
what's at the highest level for listeners?
Well, there are different categories of allowances, right? So the highest level, depending on the category, will be the coordinator and the deputy coordinator and the team on the presentation of the allowances to the presidential task force. That's what it is. Depending on how low it is, we have the executive authority for clear by our own judgment. There are some that are above us, we can weigh up to the task force for approval. That's how it is set up. That's the way the structure was set up. So most of the allowances that are in the response, or they pay people that now allowances and we deemed approved.
Fambolo na kushe endo na adu. We are don't come back to the forget about things where they happen. Now we on sweethearts alone. Now we on. Whoa, there we left for do them bad things them. We they feel almost alone. Now we on. Whoa, we are. And if we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, oh, we just want to make we a go before. If we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, oh, we just want to make we a go before. Fumble, Kusha, how you dey do? I hope say you do okay. Well, in some cases, you not go do okay. It depends on waiting we come up with for the day or waiting happen. But like my brother can say, how then they bring and come to you, now so we say they take with time for able to analyze them to you every day. Well, we've been beginning one thing yesterday, we will continue it today. You don't hear it from the first term or the deputy minister of finance. When now the minister of finance, how he don't tell me how he will get 2 salary. One from NACOVAC, where in fact the NACOVAC salary being boku past the salary we been get as deputy minister. And how they may get luxurious motor car them where they may pass with Profetco. Now, no more. Then they buy Prado for vet coffee.
Not so Prado. Nah, SUV.
Now, salon no more that's happen. But now we standing. We don't come back today for talk about different things. But today, the work we want for can do. We've been stopped some time yesterday on the Auditor General and in Deputy then Tribunal where they be set up. Today you don't see the money, it go shock you. I don't say no go shock you because you know say as per we family members them, you used to the deal. You used to the deal, and we know how waiting and waiting they happen. We know waiting and waiting they happen. So, okay, let's tell you now waiting they happen. Manager here in presenter the whole long. Time or time.
God. Not get patient.
No, try. You start. You stop me.
We move.
No, nothing. Come on, the same thing.
Who said it go?
Manager,
the
game
don't be.
You don't make couple before consider. Anyway, we're very sorry. Manager, let me just notice some makeup blunder. And no makeup with it, they can't correct.
No, before camera.
Are you playing the echo sound?
Now you.
But now you.
Who that not left us?
You know how that talk, eh?
You ain't talk.
Anyway, we will continue. Today we will take one kind of level where we will go back and forth. For all of them things that happen, I go one follow with end with what we start with yesterday. And then we go inside. Although we left outside we start yesterday for backside, the wrong side.
No, begin with accepting. Let's show my heart's not cut.
No left hand at the backside.
Them kind babala money then they not can find for call about no get away. Pass will call them. Now there's a put on a paper.
So what we go do? We go basically come and look at certain things them where we don't work out inside this program. Because we want to come show you certain things them, especially with regards to the Auditor General. Now for call you. Okay, so we basically look at the distract. You manager or admin or now the distract. What's happened today? Let not be saying now they don't go inside you.
And they disturb. Then they under for nobody know they call you now until you do it to them.
No.
We know call.
Now we don't know say madam you in juju man and they work. No call in juju they work bing. This is pure distraction.
I tell you, as one go inside, daddy the chuki under. Daddy we know call nobody. A big.
No, but this is no talk and but this is not nice. How they go to these people as well?
Let's see no more now. At the Sarah show.
Madam in the work. But unfortunately, I'm not like waiting and do so today anyway. Honestly, I'm not like her. So yeah, I'm not like I just don't know if for the weekends. I totally day off. Maybe you can take her for me. I don't know.
Yes. Now.
Hey God. Instruction.
They're not calling you to say please and thank you. They thank something they know obey it.
We're very sorry. Them people they really don't put me off. I don't like my posting. I totally do off. But they under then come out. If they not come out, no will get peace.
Skiddy bop pantan, ragga spice. Get used to this. Whoa. Fire. Boom. We never them, then they thief free money. Who never them, no they sorry for it. Who never them, no broke down the country. Every time you go, people they cry say. Who never them, no so like that. Who never them, make we country they cry. Who never them, no broke down the country. Every time you go, people they cry say. Say let them go, let them go, let them go. If none go, we country no go good. Let them go, let them go, let them go. If none go, we go die pampo. The way the system they go, we not be voting us so if I go. The way the system they go, we not be voting us so if I go. I said the two ship press when and give it, if and they sell and they put all of them pockets. United Nations in Tilly, they thief free money and they fly like a rocket. Now we don't tire with the violence, we don't tire for the jobless, for we right to go protest, for we right to the protest, every day thing they do, I know they open the cheer, they make I don't care. When we talk, we say me put the above. We never them, then they thief free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. We never them, na nyampi alam dum blow. The new direction now, sorry they go. Investor now they come, then they pack and go. It's alone economy now they go. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. 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 When we tell them the truth, them vex. They say we're not terrorists, we're not the watch them. 2023, they not fulfill the promise, we're not the catch them. We never them, then they thief free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. The part they sleep, the mommy where they near around make you wake up. The part they sleep, the one them where they near around let them wake up. Nagazi gaga there. Lunge bridge where he promised we with the pray make him make up. Oh, if you not make am 2023, we say for no go take am. We go whip am, we go keep am. The power where we give am, we go take am. Me sing say, Azagazi, say the country don't bend. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. I woulda done box up the country. I woulda done make we belly empty. I woulda done go kill a Tombo. I woulda done go kill a Losan. I woulda done go kill a Padema. Them innocent people are McKenny. You know rule them where we vote for. They pull up on Babati. I woulda done the thief in a corner. I woulda done brick and corona. We never them, then the thief free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Any time you go, people they cry say. Now what's from the power, the country lowly. When they not say them don't fuck up now, they want change the story. We were not born meat and follow we survive, now God in glory. The country lonely, the people are sorry, yeah. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. 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 Father of democracy, freedom of.
Alright, so very sorry for that. So very sorry. Some things and technical issues them in the way they call your attention to. Now that will be try for fix up, but it's okay now. We very sorry for that. Yeah, I think we'll go to something very serious now. And please, you will watch it, don't forget for the like button. And if you're not subscribing to this channel, please consider for subscribers. So the talk so right now we get 68,698 and 89 people where now family members they don't get. So please, if you not do that yet, please consider for do that now, okay? And then I need for go now inside the ball.
We move.
You know, a lot of things in the way we know they happen these days, you know, especially when it comes to the issue of corruption, the fight against corruption. You know, the panel been called we say local hyper for fight corruption.
But for more hyper for fight corruption, all the one day we don't take the lead for fight corruption, I don't take the making enemy. If you look at the Africanist players, you look at the Dr. Lahai, you look at WSF, you look at any other party, we don't help for fight corruption, an enemy. But anyway, where they condole them, where they pamper them, where they make it look good, you know, then they take a life and say, okay, you know, the best possible way we don't ever get. Okay. So basically what we can do, we can go now into the different audits things then. One first of all, before going to the reading of them different things, then I will get a flashback. In other words, I will take on ABN and listen to certain things. Then we come back just now. I'll start with me, young man.
Because the survey when we get shows that 92% of the people of Sierra Leone believe in the work they do. That was done by the PFM Consortium, an independent body. We confirm say the people of Sierra Leone strongly believe in the fight against corruption and in support with you they do. I just don't tell you results. I don't tell you say the people will investigate. Some will let them go. Some will find them guilty. But you don't ask me a lot of questions about the past government. Maybe if you come to the present government, then we now come with the details.
Mr. Commissioner,
no, but you question, the only way how you question will make meaning to the people of Sierra Leone if we don't do a comparative presentation of the work we don't do with people in the past government, we do with the present government, before we now come for assess with the perception of the people.
But I tell you, say, go fine, since
yes.
you did at the studio, let we try for flag most of the issues then, because they look at 2021 as a whole year. So if you dare, and we as journalists, follow they bring to you some of the issues.
I agree. Okay, let we look at that situation.
They follow the conversation, especially conversation where they spark debates from Sierra Leone and the way now when they use social media, where I believe they use them very actively.
Yes.
Let me ask you that question.
Yes, and a very good question. I be just want to make sure say we build the context well. But I tell you say that talk when they talk say me they only go after people in the past government is not true. In fact, we they go after people in the present government far more than people in the past government. But also most significantly, even the one that will go after the past government. Anybody point to one, we go talk say, we go ask our questions them and there was no basis to ask him. One, there will be none. All of them had issues to answer. They made statements. Their issues were legitimate. The claims against them were all legitimate. Serious accountability issues. Some of them we don't find guilty in court. Some of them don't pay back billions voluntarily. They come and say, yes, now we take, look am. I present them to the people of Sierra Leone and say, we don't, this money we will take from people in the past government, look at more. The same thing for the ones them we will not find guilty. We come back and say, there are them, yes, like Ambassador Yassane, I just don't talk about Paolo Conte and others. We look at them and say, no, yeah, evidence no day, and we let them go. At the end of the day, we get a serious responsibility for perform. We not get for come and talk, say, okay, because we don't want to let people they point finger at we for say people they in the past government that they run after. So all their sins are forgiven. No. We don't get that kind of blanket amnesty na ACC.
All right.
Now a question of whether we transfer that same kind of tenacity to people in the current government, and that's what we have been doing, and that's what we've been continuing to do. So in a similar vein as we do with the people in the past administration, in the current administration, we don't make sure, say, we ramp up investigation into every issue we come up. We look into them, check the facts, establish the issues, and hold the issues. And throughout the history of Sierra Leone, at no time have investigations been more widespread over spreading from the presidency till come down. So, for example, this is not the first time an investigation has happened deep down into the heart of the presidency, the state chief of protocol. When issues came against her, we investigated. We came out with our findings. The same thing happened with other ministries. Ministry of Agriculture. We don't do a lot of ministries than they. The Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. We don't do a lot of investigations concerning the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. The Sierra Leone Police. We don't do investigations concerning the Sierra Leone Police. Various ministries, departments of agencies. The cases are there. Some of them we don't charge to court. Some of them will come back and say, we even look into the issue of the wife of the president. A sitting president. We look into the issue. We come out publicly with the findings and say these are the issues. Generally, if we say we give names of issues they do, the database data my laptop are not going to be now. But you will find out, say, issues that will concern the past government, only 15 now we do. 15 throughout when we don't be commissioner. 15 cases involving people in the past government.
What about now?
We don't do over 100 cases involving the present government. So the people them, When they go out in social media, they put all the facts that they out are simply copying out in the conversation. The conversation is very clear. We have done more investigation of issues, personnel, highly placed people in the current government than in the past.
So
and certainly, we have done far fewer cases involving the past government than the present government.
So during the investigations, like you don't state the past administration for the SCC, when I don't investigate just 15 and over 100 for the current administration.
Yes.
One thing we question mark on the day on again, because now the people them on they work for gets for do it, not the figures, but the way how the ACC they handle some of their issues here, and at the end of the day, the outcome of some of the cases them. Take for example the case where they get the investigation where the ACC been doing at the office of the First Lady. When I remember when I been pulled waiting when I say when I fair not, the public not been like get that kind of expectation saying that this the ACC go pull at the end of the day, then send above case.
So we see the public be want for make we persecute the First Lady. The fact of the matter is, we go out and establish, say, not to the first time office of the First Lady don't get money. Let's remember, say, the beginning of that conversation. When this whole issue of First Lady come out from the audit now, go to Africa Press, go to all the conversation on social media. They say First Lady not for supposed for all public money because First Lady not supposed to get public money. But oh, check, we find out, say, this is not the First Lady who don't receive public money. Okay?
Well, of course, we family members them. The person way you they see at the screen now, Francis Ben Kelfala. Not issue they make we answer. We know the reason why we answer. Ben Kelfala na somebody we just follow in name, and na somebody we caretaker bio can with na the ACC just for can cover the nonsense and nasty things them whether they do under this party where them call them saying at the commissioner. But listen, this na foundation with a bid for you because we find out say we Sierra Leoneans. When certain things them happen, at the moment when they happen, we able to think say it don't happen. As time that goes on, we can forget. Now it may could begin for bring you today videos them bit by bit for build the foundation for you for can catch up to LARA in your issue because then are the rundown. This we they claim the ill and not only one this no more play for you. We get other video where they can follow behind this just for make able to understand. Waiting where they can't talk now because normally you can say, hey, we are waiting again today on our talk. So do you have patience, sit down and listen. Follow the program so you're able to understand at the end of the day. We move.
You know, say this not to just channel, but everything.
University. I don't tell people yesterday say, not for call we had again, we had channel. From yesterday, we don't put another we had. This now we had university now.
And when they prepare you for meet up the election, so you go improve yourself.
Big time. Judgment Day.
I will recommend going forward that when these kind of things are done, it's not about trying to come up with recommendations that will suit these people. It's to making sure that we have something that we all will now say, this for stop. And the idea of saying it has been happening in the past, to me, is a fallacious argument. I say that all the time people are making,
so corruption
okay,
the
past government. Look, let's be clear. There has to be a line. If the past government has been corrupt, that does not justify this government to be corrupt. No way. And that's why we all welcome the Commission of Inquiry. So we cannot now settle for a continuity. Let's deal with the issue.
But how can you prevent that? When you inherit corruption and you follow that path, it's a defense.
Yeah, but that's a fallacious defense. That's what I'm saying. Because you cannot cure an illegality with an illegality.
Right.
All right. Somebody must step up and do the right thing.
Let me bring in the defender.
Well, give me whatever description. But
well, you don't see what's in the happen. This not talk to me, I reply you. You know, sometimes and the reggae, the way out it go na mama salon, we self can enjoy them. As we come with the news to you, when we listen, that's so we can enjoy. You know, when people they talk, more especially when people they lie. I think they drag you to Francis Ben Kelfala. It not be supposed to be a liar anyway. But in this case of the SLPP and Ion Papa when I can take a BOA, give him this position for making himself enrich himself. He really they do the work. We can take a BO. Send them. Put on there for. Bring them for can do. We move.
Okay. So all of them discussion, the arguments here, outside come out. They come out of the audit report. Because the audit report, now you can't team up like boom. It kick the thing for we, let we see. So we visit the audit report of 2020. And then we see the office of the president. We don't do some of them things about the review. So then I review and then we can go inside without being there yesterday. Because basically waiting for Bible say waiting with the build the foundation. We want you to understand every bit of waiting with the talk. So when you didn't make your point, because they say this election, I love my uncle so much. I just love my uncle.
I know love him.
I love him. You know, waiting do something in the talk sense. You notice, he said this is election, it's all about ideas. It's all about, hey, not of course, can't put this person. He said because I don't do A to Z. I don't even pass Z, na boyang at the guna so. He said, so anybody who want for trouble the election, put them down, and then we discuss the issues then. You understand? So now the issues them now, we discuss. We don't discuss nobody, eh? We just discuss the issue. We just that if somebody will like Kenima Babu, we can talk her. If somebody will like my former IG, we can talk her. Not so bad.
Now talk, cannot talk. Now watch you.
Peter, continue.
Me and uncle.
Okay, so this is not the audit report where we pin for you so on the screen. Yeah, I not say some of na don't read and go before we save. And this make me not like una save. Una just read quick. Now need to wait again save. Okay, so let me see. Office of the President 2020. This all, the boil down, we can't give you all this because you remember so we talk about $950,000 where the government don't put for do this tribunal against or for looking to the case of alleged, professional misconduct of LARA, TAYLOR-PEARCE and that of TAMBA, MOMOH, right?
Yeah.
So we build the thing because hey God, they get what they call special audit. That by the time we done some of them things that we're going to LARA in other issues then. You didn't know exactly why not LARA and TAMBA MOMOH no more they set up tribunal for. And why not they no more they suspend. Then get what they call special audit. That means this is an area where you need a professional expertise. You need this kind of special technical ability. This kind of master sabi for able for going to them kind of thing and because it get for do it high mafia them. You understand, eh?
You mean the thief man them?
Well, the one they were employed, the thief man they were employed the thief man them. But hey, remember, my uncle say, and not they call anybody where he employ us.
Thief man. As
So,
long as he don't in government.
What's in I employ, and he call them thief man. So we know who call them thief man. We just they say the cartel mafias there. So let me watch this thing. Now that's what the wahala begin.
And would that start this wahala?
Not all audit report where they say, well, I name say LARA.
Taylor?
LARA. Every that woman, I don't understand that. But this I can talk. When you see Alex, you say, no, he knows how to talk. Come here. Until they did it.
And then his brother, his sister. Let's say, no, they talk about.
They're not in talk, but their action, their words thinking bomb. Okay, let me watch this thing. And interestingly, I think the other person where they send and go with time back, I don't say I'm small, but you're not tall. Not short,
just the middle.
And when you were in coat with in tie, I don't say I want to tell you in coat and in tie. You see that it's not possible for just give pattern.
But waiting there and yeah.
Well, I make you take a be offense for them. I mean, uncle, I know the doubt. Look what will happen. This is not goodness. Watch, what did they say? Oversee, impress, not appropriately retired. In other words, that couple where they give them say. For let them go, and they continue for
fly.
When they don't give them the couple, they're supposed to can explain to we.
Who's explanation we need?
Now through their documentation, how they spend the couple.
Okay.
Like almost they pay for hotel, almost they eat,
you get confidence,
almost they pay transport, almost they buy fare, all of them say. Therefore, come back and explain bit by bit with receipts of how they go spend them couple. Then and then say oversee impress now the couple, small couple, then they give them for go. Where inside they get per diem for let you live your luxurious lives. If you have to go palalo, if you have for what I mean now, If you want chill, you want make barbecue now, but if you explain, they're not the same no but if you explain appropriately. Then say in this case, the money when they give them for that one day, they're not able to come back and explain. When they say retire, they're not able to come back and give proper account of how they go and use them. Now achieve something there on top before I come to this side. Good. Okay, I think we're on track. So I open at the see what we are the scene. Okay, so we go now. Then say appropriate retirement details we are not provided for payment with regards to 135. You see the money they want to talk. When they talk about money, if you understand what I mean, $135,000 and equivalent to 1,327,758. I call money that today, I'm not scared. I beg. Now all Leones, yeah, made for various overseas travel by HE, the president and the first lady. So this is a couple where they give to the first lady and me uncle for let them go and go overseas, for let them go waiting. So they're not able to come back and carry retire this morning. They say we recommend that the state chief of protocol, provide the necessary time. In other words, they say for okay, that money there, although na not come, but una for come back and can give you the necessary information, the receipt them, the documents them. When for sure say una use this money, or else we dey ask una for let una pay back this couple to we consolidated fund. State chief of protocol can explain how this and that, the first lady, now then the responsible. Look at this. If I don't get somebody, he said they sent it to the president. Inside he respond, when he respond to this, the auditor, he say the office believes say the money where then they talk about that $135,000 where then they talk about so where they say na impress for the caretaker and in wealth. He say they be use them and they use them for the purpose where they actually take them for. They say they get the retirement details, yeah, for sake of all of them money there so as they pay to His Excellency and the President. And however, henceforth be obtained in accordance with the public financial. So basically, they therefore not just say they do the right thing for later and spend the couple. So now the Auditor General say, okay, that's not a bad thing if una don't say una spend the right way, but una show me the things they now watch. Where the document for backup, this una what una don't talk because it's not a matter of how una can on television, radio, and talk. Una show me evidence say una spend this money for the receipt and other things. Then. So guess what happen? This is what the auditor fair note. He said the necessary original. Hey, bro, I like this word. Necessary original. He said, as per the auditee, that's the one where they go audit. Retirement details were made available during the audit verification process. Yes, then come and show you some of the retirement details. Then where we go verify the whole process. Then say after we don't go following details verification. After we don't go to one, find one. For verify the information, the document that the receipt the owner can give you. Yeah. Then say we fail not. We after we don't verify, we don't inspect, and then we don't watch. The other standard audit checks. We don't go according to how it's supposed to go, including we check the third party. Hey God, that's what the professional misconduct come inside. That thing where they charge them for go court to professional misconduct. Now here it come inside. So for able after where the secretary and the scope don't can give all kind of information, all kind of documents. And they say, okay, not a problem. But we need to follow the standard way for audit, for check them things there. So when I don't bring can follow, we know if them think they are really the authentic, or if not original things them, or if not real thing, or somebody just goes to them, my neighbor, and make them. So then they find out all of them things there. So including for check the third party. Basically, when they say they check the third party, means say if na me and you do business, then na me don't can explain say I don't go spend the money, then they come back and can check you. So now you do a business with and say yes by way and I mean. So okay. Now you get this, then they begin check now some of the things that me can give. Yes, waiting at the process when I go to now you get this document and you get this receipt, all of the things there. So then they come and check with the third party for cross-check for know if waiting exactly they don't talk about or waiting they don't can give them. Now you give them. If they're not add or they're not pull. So then check all on the third party. Yeah. Where applicable, who say necessary, then check to the other person where they do business with, yeah. And then when they don't reach to that point, then find out say now I saw the aid and the case day inside the tribunal. Now this now make now the professional misconduct this. Now this make caretaker being at one. He said this not to see one put drugs para. You want put boxer para. He said the auditor one pull box up and public, and you not go take that. Me uncle, now one day street.
Corruption.
The auditor say, if he not say, the sum of 110,000 or 1,080,504,300 old leones, yeah, should be refunded. In any telling boss say for refund money.
He said, he passed command.
Before return that money.
Return that money.
God.
You're not supposed to use them that way.
If I not to support for user, when I don't use them, I'm supposed to use them, but I'm not sure how I use them. The document, we will find out what he actually say. He said that for refund that money they back by the payee, that is the state chief of protocol and the personal assistant to the first lady. So you see, the husband and the wife, they all two the people there, they work together.
Well, you know, just like waiting, I be the try for tell you now. All of them things there, we take with time today for read and for una, for call for una them figures there. Make una know the reason behind LARA TAYLOR-PEARCE in senseless, I mean, suspension. Where Sembe Pierre, in your uncle Gilara.
Okay,
we
very sorry in a phone call I get from young producer. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. So this not be the thing. So now they check, they say, pa, that the special assistant to the first lady, the scope, what thing? How you call it? The scope against it. Okay, scope. State of chief protocol. The balance of 110,000. $110,000. 110,000. When are over 1 billion, 1,080 million. And for you turn them back. And that's what they do on all kinds side. Now the pardon see this thing. Say, eh? Who that sabi this week here? When they can't go inside.
When we don't take them, I don't eat.
Yeah.
I can return
back. You
back.
can't tell me for you turn them back. Who that is? Well, we can't see
chill.
This sometimes this as if this not explain better one. When they can't go inside, then begin all meeting. This is what all we talk so we can't go qualify or quantify them. Let's go. I don't know if that's when they talk about. I just talk English. We can have a He say una for send them back. Una all mix. Una for send them back. He say what he make una for return this morning. He say as the retirement receipt. Hey ya. Una listen no. He say the retirement receipt. Yeah. It get beaucoup discrepancies. That means the thing they not correspond. The numbers they not match up. You understand? Eh? One one of the number that they make palaver of the other one. This is the make palaver of this other one. You see that the date or other things. He say in the discrepancies them, the differences them plenty. He say not accurate at all. It's like when I just try to make something quick rush. He say and above all, inconsistent. That is to say. Inside this same issue, you go don't tell we say, by where the 15, like when ECSL come and tell we say, then they can strike. Where before they not begin striking, now tomorrow they strike. Now so they say what you write now and what you write here for the same thing. It not match up.
Ever be the same.
Not the same. So he say the way I wanna do this receipt, it not match up at all. Differences then they per this receipt and for the same reason. You see that the date or waiting, he explained no continue for what it is. He said the receipt provided by also been disputed. Sorry, have also been disputed by the concerned third party. So, not to say the receipt where caretaker bio and intim, where they don't go pass scam. Not to say just get boku inconsistencies or get mad with discrepancies. Then say so take the receipt there. Then say, okay, you say now by way hotel now you go lodge. You say yes. Now in sell give this thing you say yes. Now in your line sit there you say yes. Now they touch foot. Like you get problem.
Go back.
Now then touch them foot.
And I tell you,
now maybe uncle vex. Now then grab back. Then say them they go find out from that person where do business with me uncle. If now really do business with them. So you see the professional misconduct kind of
LARA.
And LARA when they can say la Muhammad Rasulullah. Don't say LARA. Listen what he say. It's a further investigation to be carried on the transaction on PVC this and that. Okay, this is about that rating number this is of 10th March 2020 for an amount of 25,000 or 247 million leones. They say the retirement receipt is marked by discrepancies, inaccuracies, and inconsistencies. This all level they have to use up on my uncle, not of it here.
Maybe grammar there.
I tell you, bro.
That means that your uncle not stable in the things the way they do.
All the things, all the receipts they went out.
If they will talk this,
tomorrow I can explain that. So now, so the office of the president. So corruption. So now make me uncle vex, bro. Now I end up for say, he said this issue remain unresolved. It's not for one no more. We not done it to. Not done it to. This is not for just overseas. Impressed, not appropriately used. So you see the receipt after we the waiting. Now you understand that, sir? You understand?
I understand.
If you don't understand, make it know. Now we go to the other part. We still inside the audit report of 2020. We go to this other side. You know, say me uncle leg fly, eh?
And they continue for fly.
So now that make we can't deal with all the fly there now.
Hey God.
But interestingly, we find out that this audit report will come out 2021. My uncle clean. My uncle clean. Even that plane where he buy, where get that green, white, and blue. That plane where they mistakenly snap and they say snap and they put her for Olusiam. Then they forget say they don't snap her for we. And if they no way they can ever defend that day because I don't even watch how country they manage carry a flag. Well, sorry, how plane they manage carry country flag.
Now because you own somebody within the country.
Yes,
so
yes.
Buy
It's
somebody
either
yes,
back talk about
buy somebody within the country.
Or somebody we strongly they in the business.
No, we're not doing the go make camouflage pattern.
Come on. So let me continue. So that case they first, they say not done to. As far as they're concerned, it remain unresolved. Okay? You're not done. Alright, so let me go. When you go again, and they continue for
fly.
So another overseas traveling expenses to Lebanon. This now they all talked about Lebanon. Interestingly, when you come out this Lebanon, when you come back, now you can fit here more or less. We'll have something for you. He embarrassed me like for saying a pigeon. You know they can embarrass pigeon where you can take team where they not get. He not the shame. He just the drop card and any sign for can take pigeon. In so he embarrassed me like pigeon. Laugh something. Una patient me quick. Because this word has a cancel. Now they tell you about that body bag. That's why I don't go thief with money but like a bag. They can't fit here with like goodness. Let's see. If you tell me.
You understand with pain? Not for me.
It's good.
Caretaker, you know, your uncle don't enjoy pass. All the caretaker who don't ever get them at my salon. Your uncle get flights. Your uncle get boats. Caretaker, you. He really they enjoy salon money. He really they enjoy salon money. Don't LARA can't up and a bone nut roads. Can't up and a bone nut roads. But anyway, all of these things.
This not it don't lose.
Yeah, this is a balance. We're not gonna expose this guy.
Continue.
God.
Continue.
You know, all of them things they are. If you they get all the explanation like how it goes so, plenty of you know be understand the reason by LARA TAYLOR-PEARCE in suspension. Just as I say, I may go to try for build for you the foundation. But in the building of the foundation again, you they see some frustrating issues them inside them people there. Because some of them money where we call you so if really them people there use half of them for develop this country, we know for the this kind of ground we live so right now. But they find out say the way how caretaker you and in wealth. I know they talk about the ministers and aides, honorables, and other people them. The way how caretaker you and in wealth don't enrich themselves inside these 5 years. You know, some of you get to understand, but now the day where Sierra Leoneans and they take their own rights na the ballot box. Where this man they come out under this seat. You know, when somebody in a certain office is on that seat day first. So wound and the way go down wound that office day. You know they will know all. Now few you they know. Now in the happen right now under caretaker in leadership. I always tell you that I say that's why I will they bring you now few things them. When caretaker they left power, informations and documents they get for come up, we don't get for ever believe say it don't happen in the history of a saloon. Let's watch this video.
So this now the tell it come out now this Lebanon. But I think say before we go and play that video, the last show now something quick. So you go understand exactly waiting it go past now Lebanon first. Because now only if you see blind man say the stone, waiting that mean. Okay, wait. It means they don't mask the story. Enjoy. So overseas travel expenses. This is now Lebanon. To Lebanon. They say a review of payment, voucher, and supporting documents relating to the president's travel to Lebanon revealed the following. Number one, the circumstance that led to the selection of the company. Okay, this one, then we don't explain that day. Then kind of defend and then look at small waiting because then they talk say waiting pharmaceutical company get for go to toilet get other things there on it. Then say original and true copy of receipt to support total payment of 156,113.73 or 73 cents United States dollar for hotel accommodation and medical treatment was not submitted for audit inspection. So that money is for they spend, not even submit them. Yeah, and say traveling officers were paid excess. In other words, they paid double dipping. Yeah, daily subsistency allowance. That way they can say DSA. Yeah, totaling $7,404 and 564 was underpaid. So in other words, they get some way they pay when they the favorite boy. Then the other they pay the less. Whether they can just because of work. Now work now the self work now can go they pay whether they want for pay less, they pay whether they want for pay boku. Then say of the fund provided to cover the cost of medical bills for the president and subsistence allowance payment, totaling $73,416 was paid to cover the cost of accommodation to eight traveling officers. So this is the money where they pay $73,416 for 8 people them we go with the president. Now they pay for them for let them go sleep in a hotel. Even though full DSA, which amounted to even though we don't take DSA first, we're at 75,000. Even though they don't give them 75,000, they take back other 73,000 where they use them for go sleep. Then the other now they make a papi show chilling. Yeah, they make a papi show. Then they say to cover such costs had been paid to them. So they don't even cover that. So now the double dipping, you take money for the same reason to them. This is an evidence of double dipping and not talking. If my uncle is in there, so upon all that thing there, now look what they say. They make the recommendation. A lot of recommendation. Then the office come, now himself reply. So the office come, he explain. Then any auditor general come, himself come, he can comment. He say, okay, I don't hear you but all of things that I don't say. We don't do verification. Now, we don't do verification upon all we do, I don't call you for watch back. This now we'll find out. He say 1. Bullet point number 1. We note management response regarding the circumstance that led to the selection of Okedane in be waiting. Let's go to the other. It says original receipt all with date in September 2020. Listen, the trip may not even happen before September 2020. But when they can make receipt now because of rush, they make in 2020. They forget. Imagine. So all the receipts get what they call 2020 to support total payment of $352,481.77 for hotel, accommodation, and medical treatment. So that go and go to Lebanon. Where the caretaker be going to Lebanon. Where they say we don't know if na honeymoon, we don't know if na medical, we don't know if na private waiting, we don't know if na con, we don't know if na waiting double money laundering and group, we not sabi. That money where they just go no for go enjoy. Where they first they say they go on honeymoon. The money where they go spend, where they not able for account for self. Now $352,481 $0.77 for hotel accommodation. So they say that they not able for give proper things for them. After they don't verify. They say we however conclude that one of the retirement receipts of $156,113.73 for hotel accommodation dated 18 September 2021. Imagine. So, in other words, waiting this is for talk. I think I make small mistake now. Waiting this for talk, the activity without happen 2020. So, if you don't go 2020 now Lebanon, Why you for can't give me receipt for 2021?
Because
for the same side, where you never go again.
Now that's when they will feel for you now.
Now that's when they date the receipt 2021. They say was marred by discrepancies. So in other words, the caretaker they even forget the date where they go. When they try for falsify or forge receipt and just put 2021, the year when they be inside, then they put they forget that 2020 they be don't go. The travel, my uncle the travel tell they forget the date they already travel. If I ask no, now they show so. So they begin the wrong date. Then they continue, and saying, they even go forward and ask the concerned third party. What did the third party say? Whose records show that the bill remains outstanding. So you understand? Clear. Now, upon all the receipts where caretaker Bio and in team don't give, then give a receipt of 156,113.76 cents. Where they say they go spend per accommodation. Number one, the receipts in date not correct. Then go 2020, they write 2021.
Panic.
Number two, panic. Now the other one day. Where you don't thief, you want for cover. Panic. Number two, when they check now with Bible, when I get the hotel, they say, okay, Bible, now you get this receipt. Bible say, hey!
I'm not even saving the papers.
Not to me get this receipt. So, in fact, them people are in Kaya. They left that self where they for pay. They not pay, they for pay me. So, me not get the receipt. You understand?
Clear.
Now, caretaker, president your office, then do so. Then go sleep, enjoy. Then come, then falsify people a receipt. But it can be said like when they go buy being sold, then take receipts. So when they come, then IT experts then can upgrade the receipts. You understand? Then they write them, figure them, say they don't pay for accommodation this amount. Which of course, then get that day. You understand? So they get that at the place where they left day, but then can lie say they don't pay. And then they forge people receipts. Now in this basically the time for talk so. So after they don't verify, they notice the third party, what did the third party say? Whose record show that? He said no, they know it. In fact, they get outstanding debt when I 156,000. So the money where they say they don't pay them, they don't eat them, they don't ship them. Then they left debt day. Now look something practically. From when this thing don't happen, so now 2 years. From when Ben Kelfala said they investigate. We see that also with the ACC person now that in the communication person, the public relations, it tell we say now. Then they're not able to bring nobody to book it. If honestly the caretaker in hand been clean upon all them things there, we don't happen so. You don't think say for me don't be the person wait for me send say okay Ben can't take them people and them but they want to give me bad name. But 2 years ago he not say anything.
What you get for say?
They don't go on no side but again the scope in the item some side. In the item he say all of them tears where they do so I do them in consultation with the president. Some side the way you talk am. La fenam for now. And they go back up la fenam. I think I jumped something just now. So they go back. Official response. Listen what the SP, the secretary to the president, he said, in his response said, please be informed that the choice. Okay, then I want to can't do this. He say regarding the payments, last and up small regarding the payments, la highlight and back Lysian. I hope I get the right side. But I know it's how they talk. It said regarding the payment of the SA, yeah, I just want to follow Isiam. Above the normal rate, please see a minute. In other words, we all meeting, see a minute in respect of an appeal for additional fund to be made available to the delegation, to the delegates, given the expensive rate of hotel accommodation in Lebanon. At that time, the circumstance at the time also warranted the officers to be in the same hotel with the president. The observation that has to do with the refund of 500. Okay, no wait. Okay, I hope I don't laugh at Akela Lukan, but I don't get time. I don't get time. Now we watch this other one, this particular paragraph. Now I for let you read. For confirm what I talk, because you know say when we had we can converse and lie. We not can talk too. But listen what he say. He say this now the scope of the secretary to the president I write soon. He say it is difficult to understand and appreciate the fact that money spent by the president on his office, on his officers, will be regarded as double dipping. So in other words, they say the money when the president spend, I wonder why you can't tell we say not double dipping. I didn't fit I can't stand. He say since the officials did not put in a request for this, and that the money was given voluntarily by the president. So, in other words, what thing then they do it in consultation with the president. So the president that double dip inside, now in give voluntarily according to waiting. And nothing like voluntarily, not the inside we work, inside the government. The government not to donor agency.
No.
Now when you work, what thing then supposed to work for that degree? Nothing like agree no more for by God power. Who's that go No, if for right for that, now you. So it say the gesture is common with the gesture. That means the goodness. The president can just give anybody money when feel. He said the gesture is common with every president from time immemorial. This is also a common practice between senior officers and their junior across all ministries. See, I see the corruption. He said that they expose themselves. He said this for just give gesture, pull the country money, just give that you feel for this. He said a common practice. Now this secretary to the president and talk so. I don't be ever see this past today. He said it's common for the ministers, head of president, then just the give gift. Then just the give gift. He said common. So this now basically what you decide for say. So then do them in collaboration, in connivance with the president. That is why the president up to this time, he not ever talk on that particular thing day. He not ever. One day, he ever hear? He not ever talk about time. So why will they go into all of this? After all of this in 2020, December, we see them begin bombard the Auditor General, Global Times, begin calm, other people and begin calm. Interestingly, Global Times will get some information them where it will release. It continuously release things then we get for do the audit report and things we get for do the audit service. But guess what? As then sack or suspend the Auditor General too, Global Times not pull any information again. So what this simply means? It means say somebody been there inside the audit service when they undermine the auditor.
Normal.
So then they pull information from the audit service, they give to this particular media house when a Global Times for let them publish as if now the auditor now in the legal thing and they but ask a genuine question. We not say Global Times now rightist. In other words, now pro-government newspaper. All thing about this government when are they then it try for coin them in a very positive way. How on earth LARA will give Global Times information for rights? Watch ba.
I see.
Come on.
It's possible.
So why we do all of this? We just try for build the foundation. So we see finally in November 2021, and say the Mami and Ion main man, they will go on suspension and investigate them for professional misconduct. Now you don't begin see what's the professional misconduct. Okay, this not even speak to the professional misconduct. The real reason where they classify or where they tell we say na the professional misconduct we they come to that day and not go be today. Where they say Jing, that's what they have to die. But they suspend her for the other day. But not done it for today. Not done it at all. Please, if you appreciate the program, now for like and for us. We did 212. If you appreciate and just like and for me.
We are don't come back today for can't talk about things where they happen. Now we on sweet house alone. Now we old. Whoa. Then we left for do them bad things. Then we they feel I'm alone. Now we old. We are.
But we don't say as we do this thing there, so a lot of you hot. Because you know one play we talk about them. Now so we other family and back here started them they feel hot. But if you not part of the one that we hot because they've done figure, yeah? If we hurt you, we sorry. We will sorry. We no mean bad though. We just want to make we had go before. Sing that he gave for me.
If we hurt you, we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean
and
bad
that include
we
for
just
even
want
you
to make
where
we
the select for say this country, this government they damage and by way out and the loot them every day.
If we hurt you, we sorry.
Really sorry.
We no mean bad though. We just want to make we had go before. Of course, we family members them we do all of them things are just like waiting. I tell you, whenever we want to present some of the issues they are, We know they come here no more, sit down and talk. And caretaker be this travel, if you use so money, now so they say, we know they operate so. We put everything for you on a screen, not to we write them, not to we edit them, not to we bring them now here. Now waiting, come out from themselves and at the office of LARA TAYLOR-PEARCE.
So upon all the thief where this guy they don't thief with money, where can make big talk about it? I beg you listen, if you forget to remember on ourselves with this back.
Commissions have tasked, we are tasked with conducting independent, fair, thorough, and impartial investigations into allegations of corruption and abuse of public office, and to make relevant findings and appropriate recommendations. All persons who were summoned to the commissions of inquiry, we are not summoned because of their ethnic group.
Sorry, this is not
their religion.
Beginner.
Commissions have taxed.
Why?
We are taxed.
Okay.
All persons who were summoned to the commissions of inquiry, we are not summoned because of their ethnic group, their religion, or their political party. They were summoned because they had been entrusted with the supreme responsibility to serve Sierra Leone. It is their conduct as individuals and their decisions while they served this country that were the subject of close scrutiny by the commissions. So these commissions of inquiry should also serve as a strong warning to serving officials that you have a duty of care to make the best decisions and act always in the best interest of citizens of this country and of the nation. The Commission of Inquiry gave an opportunity to the people of this country to ardently follow the stewardship of persons in authority and see firsthand how some of those persons betrayed the public trust that was reposed in them by the people of Sierra Leone. We've had several commissions of inquiry in post-independence Sierra Leone. But Sierra Leoneans seem to have learned little to nothing from those past inquiries. We are determined to make this the last commission of inquiry in this country. This is not the usual charge, convict, levy tepid punishments, and reinstitute or reinstate as soon as citizens turn the other way. Once and for all, we are determined to draw a line.
Okay, so we now the same time this way come out really, but we missed the thing. Basically, now that time we tell we say I don't know why I miss them. It tell we say people may expect for them count in body bag, but unfortunately in come in plane and he come like a soldier, and the old soldier never die. Remember that day at the time that we can make that big boss step away. As they be say the panel well, but it happen because they just lost some. You be now country money and they fire.
Go chill. So my family members then just like quitting they say, you know, we had a university as we don't pull now do yesterday. This not a university where they give bad lectures or wrong lectures, you understand. Whenever we come here for can give lectures, we don't do research and we call the proof, we put them for in at the screen so you self they able know waiting with the talk and whose angle way where they come from. You know, these are some of the reasons where we see this country they go like how they go so today, where if this government not able to do nothing. But the things them where them promise we before they can at the manifesto, during the campaign, during the 2018 presidential debate, during the meetings there where they be the all for convince we the voters them. We know the promise them where this government been giving. And we know the things them where Madabio be the campaign on. We be know if they point finger at the past government say then get what they call money laundering, double dipping, this, that. Now the same English that today they see in a paper so against Madabio, well, maybe not be single. Now that it happened double under in your term of office. Look at the money them where the senseless people are where they just can play on with the voters them, blame them for make them gain and get waiting they want whether they get some sort today. Look at the money where they use for go, but then you patrol them. Nonsense worker they will not get nothing to do with the country. Then come with nasty and dirty character where they done they say make we trust the process. This is not the process where this government say make we trust. You don't see the money the way they put in our paper. Then it's the audit office say, una don't pass mark. Una refund some. They add one. Instead we refund this money. Instead, now then they go sit down wait. Waiting I mean. Now suspension we they give we not get aid, not get tail. And up till now we they tell you, then people are not even know age rated and suspended. For yesterday we tell you say they don't get 1 or 2 meets in them. When they go talk to them people, whether they go in a chill, they go chill. Meet and greet.
Okay. So if you get to that meet and greet, look, still going to that meet and greet. I think it's very much important now that we continue that meet and greet. So waiting basically by what the for say now this. Caretaker Bio after where the audit report don't tell we say they don't thief better one. They don't stop doing. What did they tell we now? Then say they finally them boys and then girl themselves come let themselves chill. What in that mean? It means say now na time for let themselves call them people in there, let themselves can eat their own money when at the country money. So for these audits, for this tribunal, where they say that they look into professional misconduct, where you already don't begin knowing the professional misconduct, Caretaker Bio and in team put like 590. What's the 500? $950,000. $950,000. Nine them put. When they say $950,000, la put up for you in how they call that wording? In
Leone currency.
Yeah, la put up for you in Leones. So you were able to feel the gist. La put up for you in Leones. Slave filan. What they talk about $950,000. In Leones, we talk about 17 billion Leones. 17 billion.
That's a million, no?
Yeah, 17 billion.
Billion.
Yes. So the new Leones, then one say now 17 million. But in old Leones now billion. When they say 17 billion, nine Caretaker Bio say, okay, since this baby and this guy, they want to put 3 per money, we don't eat real. But we need for the ladies still, let nobody not find out what thing they happen. So una back come una kite on our own this. So for let una can cut for una own cake, we do now 17 billion for una 3. Let una enjoy, una chill, una just the chill no more, they will stand the process. No aid, no tail, nothing
for cover the waste.
So let's watch something. It's nice, but very important at this point for let we able for not again the money where Caretaker Bio don't they spend per them people there. So interestingly, from December 2021 to January 2023. Now, how many months down there? Now, like 14 months. When 14 months now, 1 year, 2 months, ain't it? Yes, 14 months.
Yeah.
That's what basically, now the days them where them being supposed for sit, but all of them days the way they don't receive money for. And every month, then they pay their panel there, so one per them, 180. Sorry, not only then they pay anyone per them 60 million per month. 60 million per month, and they pay one. And interestingly, not to by months therefore they pay them. Then suppose for they pay them by sitting. Then for pay them by hours, almost hour they take na the tribunal, and how many times they sit. Now in them for pay them for. But because of Caretaker Bio know what after, it changed the payment method from hours, it sent them by month. So with or without the sitting, they pay them.
Compensation. And for ginger them up for the outcome of the case.
So if you see them all, you not see them all. Then they pay you.
They prepare them.
Then they pay you. So now it don't pay constantly, they pay every month.
So they pay that payment they pay them now for make them people can't judge the case. So in your favor where you want.
I'm not sure saying a judge because up to this time they don't even know how for begin to by the case.
Well, I mean,
not to judge. I'm not sure they're ready for done it too. Not to judge. This basically they pay them for let them delay the process Remember, say, then people are not just, how you call that thing? Now suspended. And I'll tell you something. LARA, now in at the end, now make in your kind inside a 10 one. But you know who that are the one way they really want for this case? Tamba MOMOH. You know why? Because now in at the person where do the audit. Remember, now in the Deputy Auditor General in charge of special audits. And special audits get for do with the office of the president and then senior Kubong man their own office. So now if they really want to the case, you remember yesterday they tell you say at one point and say, okay, because Tamba MOMOH been done serve as Auditor General, we LARA not been there, so therefore bring and cash inside.
No, but not go ahead and by you, then they get Tamba MOMOH. You know, say matter bill under this in government, anybody where he wants for give problem, he gets the know-how, how he work, how he do for make he get her and get a problem. That's the way they get her. That's not even that to it. Anybody where matter bill want for give problem right now, he able and he know how for do one. He don't care.
Okay, so last show now something. Interestingly, when they say the tribunal from December 2021 to January 2023, now only 6 times they don't see, and inside that see they not to better thing. Now only on the 6th meeting, now they're able for put what and call rules. They make 6 rules or 6 rules out. Now they're able for make. Now that things then where they make then go on with the real information, how the court, how the tribunal for operates. So let's tell you this. It's a 5 tribunal area and they don't do so far. It's a, and interestingly, then 5 tribunal area in a day, it cost we the salon people then. It cost we for the Sidom and Sidom approximately 36,662. That are for all 3. We mean say any one of them judge and they are free no more 35 because now so they're supposed for the pay them. They're supposed for the pay them by sitting. So originally, then 5 sitting and the way they don't go so now $36,000. Some 100. So if now per 5, then at the 3, $12,000, some $100. Now they know it's free. But unfortunately, not also they pay them. And really, salon people them it cost we serious one because now like they pay them now $6,789 per hour, and then they pay them. You do understand?
For nothing.
For nothing. Then how can you go down to one other side? They say wages paid to tribunal panelists for December to 2021 to January 2022. So May 2022. So for all of them one they are, all of them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where they don't sit down for. All of the 3 judges them. They don't pay them. Out of this them how do they call it? 60 million where they pay them for a month. For just the 6 hearings where they finally sit down and make rules, then pay them 1 billion and 80 million. Now they don't pay them for the 5 no more. Well, if not so them supposed to pay, you understand, eh? By city. Well, means say in dollars and 91,538. But then now they don't even pay them pass. What thing they supposed to forget? They don't pay them pass.
Then they do the work with the power wants or make them do. So why they not for pay them? Left no. It's a left problem.
So imagine from when they appoint them as the judges for that particular thing day. Now only on the 3rd May 2022 from December 2021. Now only on the 3rd May 2022. Now they're able for put together themselves. Also they're able for make 16 rules. Like I say, when things are not the way they govern the operation of the tribunal. How it operates, waiting the panel, the defendant for do, waiting the prosecutor for do, the other go complain, waiting then the judge for do, how the court for run. Now only on the 3rd May, and they for put together the rules then. Way for able. So for that rules then number when are 16 rules. The taxpayers they don't cost me $5,721 for just write 16 rules.
Now them brother give them room for chill.
Yes.
He put champagne, he put cup, he put everything, he put music. When I dance and chill.
So interestingly, now I don't tell you about the 5 months almost they don't get. Now members say now every month. So and the other months them now so adjourn they not the meet too. So out of the months and the way they not the meet, they not meet for January, they not meet for December 2021, they not meet January 2022, February, June, July, August, September, October, 2022 and January 2023 they don't meet, but still they pay them. The amount of money where they pay them for where they not even do their work. Now 1,620,000,000,000 leons. Yeah, where if you put her now, that now what thing basically they do by the year. Now so we work the exchange rates because we don't have to cheat anybody. So for example, in December 2021, the exchange rate by then will be 11,000. 11,200, something like that. But I'll be over 11,000. And then they go to 11,035, 11,055. How they go now? So with the calculator. So as we reach now, January 2023, you will not say the exchange rate will be 19,000.
Yeah.
170 million, something like that one. So now, so how the exchange rate with the calculator by the exchange rate. You understand? So if you calculate all, the term all way they not work, but where they pay them for nothing. The money where they not eat. Now $118,444 and 45 cents. And they don't spend per them. Where they not work.
Salon.
Then now the money now where they don't put, then they say this. You work you no work. Remember that song? I work and no work.
At the chop.
Hey, but hey. Sometimes all of them song, them things they are so people don't think them before, but nobody understand the meaning. And now they understand them.
But at least you get artists there when I live in perfect step.
Well, this now, not only now if you get like where they can do jogging, the area between them, you know, they are human business. I walk and I walk, what's that there? I they chop. Okay, follow me. Let's watch this last part of this thing here. Because you don't work with Oko.
Somebody talking in the comments. So we had to do Oko.
Okay. Okay. It's a look. So all of this, what they say, I think I don't emphasize or integrate on that. And they're supposed to pay them by month, but now they're not pay them by month. Sorry, they're supposed to pay them by sitting, but now they're not pay them by sitting.
But by month.
But by month. So whether they sit down, they don't sit down. So tell me too, if them people are they get free money every month, no, by way. If you say you want to let the sitting down, let the tribunal end. The tribunal not for end. That's why they continuously they adjourn. Then just they adjourn them. But by way back, explain that side back.
No, it's just a selfish. You see, don't know when I host. They serve you back. The way you want to them pack for you. You don't understand? You know the process. And you boss where they work for, they pay the money. If they calling up for the test, I know that case they go on right now. But you know, double relax you get to.
And interestingly, this now for just the panel.
Okay.
And for just the panel, now they will talk about $950,000. Okay. So the one way we get for talk about say like for say the one the way they work na the tribunal, where like you get engineer staff, you get the way they get for buy the office equipment, and get for do like office assistant, the other one and the personnel cost, you know, they're all not too important in this case. So we left them out. We don't pay attention to the other cost they do. You know they do. Now the one they when I get the aid and the tribunal, when I then the judge, the amount of money no more than they pay them. 3 people them.
Now they analyze for you so.
Just 3 people them.
Now would they tell you what so?
Now them.
Not everybody because if we say we get that all we're not sick.
$950,000 when are over 17 billion leons where they actually they pay. They don't. In fact, not to. This not the money where they don't put. So now, then like where you say glass, what's it again? Fence. Now they don't put this amount of money for them, and then for use that money they don't. And if possible, where they use that done, they can request for the one. But this not the money, and they don't use some amount of money. Like watch quick. Some amount of money they don't use. Some amount of money where I think I not do the calculation for that. So for now, if you do all of that calculation, you know exactly almost they don't use. Then you know almost left. But could see there though. Who say they get for good? Who
that they call brother? Do you want to they no can call me brother now. Do you want to they say brother? No call me that name they no brother. Who's that rich brother? I know he left.
So why you ask for him now?
No, no call me brother.
Okay, na so na day. Anytime you cap money business. Una no wale
look the brother. Look the brother.
You no let me uncle and the family enjoy.
No call me brother. No call me brother big.
Okay, chill.
No call me brother.
Chill.
Look the brother and that big here.
Chill.
Now
give me for you. Chill. Don't go the with jam orange.
We get man the way they buy it billions. Okay.
Interestingly, the way how they
Life no
punish
level.
you know how they punish you? They're not they make little suck the orange in water or the juice. They make little jam the orange better.
Life no level. Hey, Salon. How this country they develop? 1 grain person, 3 sets of people. This not the money where then they benefit. Just 3. The team passed you, but the trio focus on. Now this money they don't benefit. They depend benefit. I don't say they don't benefit because it's not still it too.
I say $950,000. Now they get for it.
The it's not done 8.
They're not
the
money itself.
That many why the promise all they can promise. Lunge bridge this so bakery. They're not able to fulfill.
Yeah, but they're able because not to the money.
Because the money they for use on development, then they use them for the block the things the way they don't do, make them not export. But then they make mistake because power not the day forever. When they come out to man, all of the things are going to come out. So either then they use this money for bribe themselves for this it get for come out. They not use them it get for come out. But I
think we get more things than for do.
That is send and go down.
So we get 603 people that we watch, not just 600 people. We get 256 people that we don't like. So please, una kindly give me 400 likes, please. And also when they get information so much that I know. I'll tell you one thing about YouTube.
Sister, I mean this now boss me mind. Not to even blow me mind.
But I'll tell you one thing about YouTube. You see YouTube now they sorry, I know I use this word, but I use it small. Some people are way like government officials them so where they know all see there. YouTube then they can.
I they can't.
You know the time where Fatima mistake go on Facebook for go watch that other serviceman in your program. They faint for him. So all the one they we know all them faint for them. Now YouTube then the guide. You know so YouTube in get secrecy. Facebook you not get
no.
Once me in a party you can watch and see. So then did it. But please, even when I did it, when I like them more than you know say when I like. Huh? If you appreciate now for country to do this thing, I know say some of them are not glad, I'll pass along for better.
It's sad. It's sad, but thank God we get orange.
For development,
for
Mama Salon I say no matter be all you want. My boy, don't tell me uncle, thank you.
What did you say?
Swela for Swela. Swela first.
I don't know what you say.
Then wait till be Swela first.
I don't know what you say.
You don't short say don't clear.
What you say? What you just talk?
Calm down.
No. What you just talk?
Calm down.
I'm not let try.
No wait. This not to one math.
No, respect yourself.
Listen. Me uncle do all thing I manifesto from A to Z. If I don't pass Z. So when we talk, we ask not for one. Now by policies, don't talk by what we don't achieve. Nothing I don't achieve, nothing. So listen, don't tell me uncle thank you.
For waiting.
For developments inside Salon, I say no matter be
which kind of development? Destruction.
You're not waiting the audit report they tell you. For development inside. Okay, so tomorrow, honestly, because of the time, tomorrow we go come take tomorrow. How's the first thing?
Tomorrow, Thursday.
Yes, we can go inside one very important thing on this audit report. Now we just don't give you now the foundation. Let us know how then they spend with money corrupt one inside the tribunal. And members say we tell you say from last year or before last way I can't remember. I watch where then do it and call. Where the Auditor General go na court for let them go interpret a law for them. Say now, judge not for sit down on the case. The Chief Justice not see waiting the law say about that one day, so enable assign the case. So we can watch that document where they send. Long time we don't begin watching, but we can watch them tomorrow. By the time we done tomorrow, you see all the one them we involved in this case. Where be one for Ben the Auditor General. Basically, that guy we don't go sit down in America, so that one guy. A fine one. You know something?
Remember me?
That fine guy. We go sit down in America.
You for one?
Yes.
You know see the what the outside the show you?
Yes, I see.
The pan chill.
It
is sing the make sure.
Really, I don't see that side.
Boy, we say, Pierre. Left no. I'll show you, Uncle.
Okay, you think not gonna put off also?
Me waiting?
Put off.
You get in there? I'll show you, Uncle. Chill. Chill.
That's it, Mama.
I mean, this song back and chill with so.
I like this dance. If I sabi that, if I dance.
Now go away, dance. Go away. Red cup chili. Watch the video. Let's see the action then. Where a farmer go.
Drop this thing for me. People need for Siam.
You know, all of them here they show you why make this big fool, senseless idiot be they misbehave.
Take it easy.
I'm telling you.
Take it easy.
All of this, they show you why this be they send people the next world. They command the police them.
Okay, we're not going to play on the sound. The reason being, we don't know, some of them can get what's it called, copyright. But we want to let you see the action. Now, the action is very important. Yeah, especially this one where we be the pinpoint on. Now I'll let you see, yeah? And this now the possible they talk. And we get signs them inside we country. Where some of them signs them, the way you where possible make them signs them, even if not to we country itself, when make them sign and you know what I mean. So let continue. Don't watch out for where they dance. So mother be young, I do them and as you can see the mother be young.
Watch the action.
Now watch out.
Now watch the action.
If possible, let's zoom line now.
Please, the action. For tell you where to make IGB, they do all the bad things the way they do.
Now watch out. Watch it and oh, this is Anno the passport too. So watch out. Watch out. See him?
Next wall.
When make us so you go next wall. You see, eh? This is an IG, former IG.
Just watch.
Last time I'm being back for you. Small. Former IG. Former IG. Now watch out. I think I forgot being back. Next
wall. What you understand by this?
This is a former IG.
Will they pass you, send you next wall.
Of police.
You imagine.
Next wall. Done. Until we move. Not to get the program today. Not to get the program at all. For development inside Salon, I say na madabi all we want. Alright, so Bible, I think we need for allow people in for the day.
Yeah, let me give people a chance. Me, I just start.
Yeah, look can flex more with them. Okay, so I think it's your time. But before we open the full line, we still get 655 with the watch. With 278, please. Una likes, then they give you the zeal for able for car, but not be full. You give you likes, you not give you likes, so they carry back. So what they say, give you a zeal. Sometimes some of una not going to like. Una like, so they're not. If una want to not like.
Yeah, una de 10,000 na the house.
Una not give you no like.
Na the university, na they attend class, and then una not do no assignment. We still a lecture.
The lecture.
We do no assignment, una not do am. We still a lecture.
I work.
Wait till I be university for. I go lecture educate people. I beg you.
Because Sabu now when they say this now, and then they give me zeal and say, then not till they come. You want to like, you want to not like, will come. Okay, for you will love the program, just like I know. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider for subscribe. Okay, we get 700 right now. 700 I can put them 700 68,702. So if you're not subscribed, please consider for subscribe. Okay, but they take phone calls then now when they can open the line for take few more calls. How many minutes we get in? Last how many minutes we get here?
They give them
we get 20 minutes. So we get longer than 2 minutes. We get 20 minutes, so you know 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Tomorrow for join me because the sweetest part of the whole thing, not to money. The one what they do with tomorrow, not to money, but they expose the real misconduct of LARA.
2 minutes. 10 calls now. They pick you lucky. You ain't able to come inside the 10 list. Bye bye.
So today, why be they talk? By way end up it. So myself they take charge. By way they take call.
Hello, caller. You name and who side they call me from?
This like EU they call una.
Hey God.
EU, are you lost so for people in this place? Election time now you lost so.
You don't come back.
Or for say you said don't.
No, I dey observe. But okay. I tell una 10 kid for today, and I don't work overtime. But I not go able to pay una overtime because that na double dipping.
No problem.
What's here they call for? All the thing the owner don't talk today. He left to we Sierra Leoneans say we need for focus. We really need for focus because if we not focus, this way they happen today. We're happy with them scooping there. More get for camp. Because we not go see how when I don't see example in a different place, they still allow you picking there for go. Who will be the grow up like other color them in the talk? Government say they go tell for go match for go give you things there. All thing they go to school. Then give we and we go show people there. And when we go, parents they go don't say when I see don't have to side they go. So it left to the parents them for land from what they see. A lot more get for come because not to hide again. We all are grown up. All man know waiting that woman they depa. All man know waiting that woman they depa. Now talk no more, no they talk. So it's up to the parents them because if they're not focused, more and more and more get for happen.
All right. Thank you. God bless you, Mama.
And by the way, I'm not going to talk to now that they eat too. And you're not allowed. Not so part of the job.
You don't talk fine, no come about it, big.
All right. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now that is
Golden Fox.
Who that?
Golden Fox.
You almost helpful now, do you? You name said Tuboku.
Bible, please let me buy me and Shangwe Pierre, please. Give me the spoon down. How are you? How are you? How body?
No problem. Okay.
Okay. Shangwe Pierre, this is my first question. This Raga and Raga who sound so hot na club.
Na Raga.
It depends by the time.
I say reggae and raga who sound hot na club.
Raga.
Okay, na Raga man.
Okay. So if reggae want challenge raga, is it possible?
I swear to any kill him.
Okay. So now they kill Fatima be also. Because Fatima be on that crowd na Samura in crowd we see. Now they want go conducting young crowd for dance reggae. And reggae and raga no they compute. Samura na raga in dance for her. Anyone can dance reggae. Which of course is not possible. Now you go and destroy people and picking their life them. That's now one. Number two, what do you drive or see? This money, this double dipping and double scratch. No, to go this power government, to go that. No. Not true, they say politicians they lie. This not true, ben. Thousands of dollars, and you just wave on them, poop on the nose. And don't go sit down. I go na Lebanon. I go for medical check-up. Go. Let God forgive you in another country there because the more way they move in that country there, who are the people in that country do hate we safe. Okay. So that go let cool. Alright. But that go let cool for hate we safe. Okay. Now arrest me case bro.
Thank you. God bless you. Well, now in the happen inside Mama Salon, but please, now we just focus on the issue where we present today. We don't see the babala.
Present now because today don't do
the issue we just don't present. We see the babala couple them where they put in a paper saying now in this government don't they halaki for we. We go on the phone line. Please reduce the volume of his head.
Yes, my brother. How are you?
God bless you. You're welcome, my brother.
Okay, this is now William Bicol from Ohio. Now in connection to we politicians, especially Mr. President, it's undone for making the use of picking them for the pulling at the schools for go rally or for go make go show in popularity. It is undone. I mean, the first time is for my born at the see president election and I say they tell the picking and see for good. But you see, these are the problems. With the people at the top of politics, then see don't matter be the goods politics na school. So they say politics, not so this for let and get the politician. But Sierra Leone and Sidon now almost set him out. The president goes politics to picking and school picking them. Now I don't begin the pulling at it for go tell and thank you for waiting you don't do. Now your responsibility then if you look after IPK, why they for go come on in school for go tell you thank you. Then thing that way they do so Ibado now for make this thing not go continue. With the same thing that happen with IPK. Anytime they go there, they nearly want picking a 1 year they lost their life. We don't know who stylist again, Mr. President. If you don't say don't work, see don't serve food. You don't need for pool picking. If you don't see don't do good for them, see don't serve for me and pay you. Not for go get at them for office you get popularity. Stop. It's undone.
Right. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. All right, and we actually this is not to blow mind. So we deal with issues by issue. We want to focus only on the audit report because we really want to know how best you digest the information where we give. And the reason I do make with the open line. So we don't want to talk about any other issue. So very sorry. Any other issue where you want to come up with, we not go discuss them. We go strictly stick to the audit report because now ain't we they talk about right now. The other one there will be the open phone line for them. We'll not talk about audit report. That is why we make sure so we can treat them for get 3 different issues them and not for mix them at all. So we're not mix out with the issue we happen this afternoon. So please understand with we and now we focus on just the audit report. We know so we get a lot of things there for talk. And Sunday they can just we'll talk about it all. But in the case of this, let's focus on the audit report because we want to know how best we get the message. We go to the line.
Hello, caller. Your name and who side they call it from?
This is a consensus report from the neighbor yard.
Okay, welcome. Right. You actually, when they talk about the audit report, what do you get? What are you take on that?
The thing where I just want to give a light to like we Sierra Leoneans, we always give power to people and we will not be checked who that then be. Somebody can say, I will do this for now. Okay, it's fine, but now we check who that are the person, what you be. Can't show what you get before you give power because power when the beginner Sierra Leone it can sometimes dangerous because someone can hold them and misuse them. What you tell people and say they can't do, what you really do. So for the fact say somebody comes say one power, even the Dr. Samura all man is shout for, we still there for the vet and very good. Now we know who they be, what you get, not just the hand of power to somebody because power so, are too
how you link that out to the Auditor General in case because I want to focus on today.
I mean, the Auditor General, what you go do as of now, it just like we daddy and picking in a bush. The daddy na the government, the picking at the woman. What you therefore do? I mean, as long as them people are there, now waiting suits them, then they get for do. They not go ever do something where they know say it will be detrimental to them. But the right thing the lady they do, but as for them, they not go one day the woman do what's supposed to do, so they will pull them secrets outside. So I mean at the end of the day, we'll just pray God say whatever they do, let them just move out peacefully.
Okay, thank you very much.
Whoever can do the best thing.
Thank you, God bless you. All right, we still want to focus on the Auditor General issue. The reason because we want this government for no say we are aware of what's in the happen. But if we don't talk, we want to know what do you think. So all of the different issues that we don't spend time for discuss them. This afternoon we'll talk about the how we call it. What issue we'll talk about today? We talk about the problem we happen. All of them. We don't do down the strike. So now we talk about the Auditor General and in case where the government they spend a lot of money. We don't want to now for jump on our attention for them because the government need for no say we no say then the thief with money and then it sees advantage per we. So we want to know what's in your view on the Auditor General and the audit report where we just don't display for you. So let me go on the line and we strictly focus on that day. Okay, we missed that one day. Please now one time you call. Just one time per call. You only get one opportunity for call per program. So let me go on the line. Hello, caller. Your name and where you call from?
Hey, is that weird?
Yes, you there on Weird. We talk about the Auditor General in Tribunal and the audit report. What's your take on that?
All right. The audit report. Okay. This is the most important thing. No matter how they try to manipulate it, whatever goes in comes from the outside world. It is on record.
So it doesn't matter who is the Auditor General or who is not the Auditor General. When it comes to what the country loan, what they give the country, whatever you play, you try to manipulate, it is on record. They know how many trillions and billions this guy have stolen. So no matter who he puts, he playing games them, sack, take advantage over people them. They know how much money than they give Salon. They know how much money Salon government they receive. Because Salon government how they spend. All this 419 go make extension and airport forget say that this would not work, that this would do, but what's not the chief, not the they give the country. Just imagine the money they give for agriculture, just $2 million. Now it can't go London. We Gala said over Trump because of January 10, August 10. So my point here is that Auditor General, she's just there. Why didn't they use the woman in CV? Now the woman named in the civilian Auditor General office. Why are they still using it if they say they suspend her? But you don't want to see them fire her because the woman made a lock the way. Because when the COVID money won't come, the way they want to spend the money, the woman don't want to do that. Everything where they want to do, the woman is against it. So they 419 or whatever they were trying to play around, we just expose them. They just disgrace themselves. They all know that these people are just here just to loot, steal, and take advantage of the innocent people.
Thank you very much.
So it doesn't matter who they are chasing, who they are not chasing. It is on record. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Your name and whose side you call me from?
Hello, good evening. Concerned citizen, we call from Riyadh.
You're welcome on the show.
Yes, Bible SMP, Una, thank you very much. Una really do your bad today. May God bless Una.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Yeah. The two they talk for the auditor in your side. Then obviously because of the school the way he talk, all the findings the way it don't fan, it don't go against them. So switch again and say go against it. That make them say do he pull secrets them out. How Africanists press and they get some information the way, and then all those Africanists get some then information and they say na in the give them. So based on the one, and then they use now the one for user against and say if they pull information from the audits on the send and give people there. But you don't. SMBP have been promised with the last step for Count Lawrence Williams, one of the journalists, they were one of the good brains in the country where they know much, but now audit business they been on promise with the last time say we'll try for Camus and one of them we program their little list where they will debate on this thing more.
We'll still try for set up a debate. We're all done with them when they are forced.
Okay.
Because everybody gets in schedule, you get for book with the person first before you come, not just they come.
I know. Yeah, because even the Korea self now money, we know they see like they come up this BNTM, it can very deliberate very well on certain things then.
Yeah, so because of your engagements then. Anyway,
thank you. God bless
very
you.
much.
Okay, yes, okay, thank you.
All right, so they take 5 more calls for a round of the program. Sister Admin, welcome.
Hi, hey Sambapia. Hi, by Bure. YouTube, Facebook, good evening. I hope you're well, they do well. Sambapia, I want to ask you for a favor. So somebody called yesterday, we talk say something about LARA, don't encourage the people, for make, they do what they do about the timber business. Since we did on LARA in case. Is there any way you will get that document the way we'll go able to put this case at rest? Because it's very bad for make somebody they go around and what we are on social media, we know they go out there and do the findings them to make we know the truth about whether if he had be did it or did it. Because I know some of we don't read that document there, we don't see them. But it will be very, very nice. At least now put this one in case to rest. For like somebody they kind of butcher them, they tarnish them just because of what we are in our social media. It's not correct. It's not right. So I think say in order for us to do judgments of good, perfect judgments on LARA in case we go for bring kind of timber issue there, so people don't understand exactly what happened. The woman don't work so hard. This government like they say no more. Now wait and defend for making them shut the lady down. But they forget say. they cannot run away from their criminal tracks them. Any government we can win at them people that we get for build up their pressure team and they for make will bring come all the cases the way SLPP don't put against people them, where they don't lock people them off for, they don't take people them jobs them at their hands for. These people have to pay. They're not going to just go like that. What I can say is they're not like the country, because if they like the country, they were there within themselves, the cabal. Therefore, don't sit down and put two and two together just because of their selfish interest, because then they enjoy it and they eat. They don't worry about the ordinary man. So what then they do? Then they concour as support. They all just come for Shinkawi, just eat, and then you get some people the way to say they don't get brain. For sit down and say we'll not get another salon, and one great salon we get. Why can't we just fix it? Whether you give me job, you don't give me job. I know say when a good government come na salon, we all go enjoy. So please, Sierra Leonean, this matter is just left now we are now for make we do judgments na salon, for make we save we country from what they go on so, because it's just too much for over the year. Nothing good. It's always something bad, something where they make your heart stay end, something where they make you just get pissed off and you can just want to say something maybe to say something just for hold yourself.
The more is in this we make if you talk about the timber, for example, we can challenge people on issues, but some people can take offense, because if you say something where me see don't answer and I know say it's not correct, sorry about that, but I get for challenge you on that issue there, and if possible I will prove them to you say what you talk not correct, because we get with politicians them where they try for mislead we into some area them where we not need for go, we for force them, let them come also we want them, but anyway we will try for do that because we're not done with the program yet. I mean, this we'll try to do that in some other edition. They are not promised the next edition, but we'll try to do something on that. Thank you.
It could be very, very good, please, because enough of tarnishing in character, man.
Thank you very much. Okay, we go on the line and take 4 more calls.
Mr. Kamara.
Hello.
You there, live? You're welcome on the show.
Yeah. Yes. Me, I want to go for differ or disagree with the in relation to say, sometimes I get for hurt some people, and this is not about hurting anyone.
But now for the audit report we talk about, right?
Yeah, listen, finish.
Go ahead.
This is about national issue, because any embezzlement or misappropriation of the state resources, it will affect anybody in SLPP or APC. So the criminal throughout of that somewhere yesterday. So my responsibility for that we as Sierra Leone alone know the people are tax money, how the government is spending them. So now they try for the enlightenment for let people know how them people are because a fact when they present. The other yesterday we just let's say for the agreement between I will create problem or government. So then the people in the try for argue which are the correct place where they propose for that. But this one they bring out what the government will do. So not for please SFP or any other body. Not anybody not patriotic, because if the country go down, everybody, whether in a SLP or APC, they suffer. So that's what I want for say, not about pleasing anybody, that the right thing that they say. So whether SLP people still agree about that, not to stigmate it or for saying fabrication or lie information that they give, that correct information, now that they delve into, for educate people, then they understand say, the kind of government or the belief and the kind of bad thing they don't do before, them on the for them use them other way for make the country for improve. So that's me, and that's number I want to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kamara. God bless you. 3 more calls. 3 more calls. 3 more calls. Hello, caller. You name and the call before.
Hello. Sembepie and Bebure.
God bless you, my brother. You're welcome on the show.
Yeah. I'm very sorry I come late to the program. I'll be just one more stress to the previous program will be just done before that they cancel this.
No, we just want to talk about the Auditor General and the audit report. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, the general auditors here in issue, my brother, this saying Arab man they call Alibaba. You understand? this government, then Alibaba, now thief man them, they come for Kara, they come for Korondo, everything. So on that note, that make them deserve to blackmail the past government. So that the one that we not educate, so that they go see they say that it's the good people they don't cancel. This is the whole thing. We know see no good reason which that woman they do where they for pull up. You understand? But that the independent institution they will not get, then they lead to all the things they have to. Because if we get independent institutions them,
I believe say this all not for to happen. You understand? These are the old the constitution, the 1966 constitution, right? I mean, all the rights and everything so far, they just left to the president. What do you want saying they do? Nobody know the way they question. Apart say we come on power, and even as that, they get back another provision say this law that India rights only do this, this law that India rights only do this. So come on, so we the masses no more. Now we're going for continue for the so far. Honestly speaking. So I just so that need my brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. 2 more calls. Hello, caller. You name and you say they call me from.
Hello, this is not Joe, and I call from Northern Virginia.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Welcome.
How na they do Itewa Kaya?
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I want for tell una all plenty thanks. You know, with una we dey get hopes. You know, because the way our country they go, without una, you know, for the give you all them boku information they una they give you, we really appreciate una and may God continue for bless una.
Amen.
Yeah. So with regards to the audit report here, with all them bunch of information there, we know say Papa no get anything good for Mama Salon. Papa just come for country and use we and just ditch we anyhow how they want, you know. But we get voters there, more able for getting guys so out of this place here because we see say they really want for sit back for another 5 years for finish that country there. So to what me they think, I think say some of the people they're not well educated yet about the way and manner how that country they go. Like this audit report here. You know, I don't make this request before now this we are there for say please let us see how best way some of them information they are we can able get them through WhatsApp. We go able reach now the common man at the village because maybe I come on one community na Cambia and then come on and we get a community I ever don't make a forum and I talk to them people there. The people they just don't understand. Even though the country is so stronger at the area and they talk say because na Cambia to we and the SLPP come also there for vote for SLPP. Look what that man they do in that country today. They're not as little as every little thing they can able give any kind of excuse. But if they can able get some of the information, there are then tons of information that they give you. Putting Marabi don't do in that country day. I believe say this will be an educated voter. We go to the box, they will choose and see what's best for do. But we for contribute for Mama Salon.
Thank you.
No more.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The last lucky caller for today. Hello, caller. You name and you say they call you from.
Hello, Riyad.
You're welcome.
How do you do?
We thank God. How you serve?
I do fine, pa. Really, I mean, the whole salon community, both home and abroad, and they appreciate you now for the effort you know the exact so far for try for reach out and I mean give message to the people them. If you see right now how this country they operate now because of misappropriation of funds and the rapid growth of corruption with the happen at salon. Salon a country where from where me open here in governance, we don't see audit reports year in, year out. But the problem is their audit reports here they come out every year. We know they see anti-corruption, they make move. We know they see the one the way the audit report they point on to, then they get indicted. Maybe then just they go after a few because of political gains. So at the end of the day, the layman now they get problem. Because all these who they talk to that the layman, that last man down at a village, down at the last man at the village, now they suffer. Now in they feel the pinch. Them brother now so they see this no, this mother being regime, they come out this no. Since one part they don't get for touch them. Now the sad thing and they you see? But the last man a village down there, it is suffer. So the suffering is too much. People and they suffer that our country day. So the audit report are always do they say we need for the see and they take effect. We need for the see the outcome. Let them go after people them way the names then get implicated in the audit reports. And that's what they ask for no more. Now in doubt that they ask for that last man of the village.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Pa.
You're welcome,
Good
brother man.
night.
With tradition, bonus, one bonus call. Hello, caller. You name and where you call it from?
We are doing a good evening, family member there.
How you do?
No bad. Me na blame at the call na Conakry, Guinea.
All right, you're welcome on the show.
Na thank you for una good work there.
Tell God thank you, Pa.
I always appreciate una for one of the enlightening video. Colonials there, especially one of the inside the country. It's Imona. Mona, forget a kind responsibility government take there we need for afford for them for we the lame people and for let the country push go before them. Just try for their own pocket. Let God pull the house for we. And that no one we prayer. Because you know for the region where they try for let them win this election and not do Baku. But who they put we onto God, let God help we, let God make they always the disgrace like this. So now I will stop plan or disturb other people.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Well, of course, with family members, we don't come to the end of this particular program. We just want for tell everybody thank you, both YouTube and Facebook. We don't come and call, comment, share, and everything. Thanks. Now, so for they do as family members, when issue come on the table, we all for come, sit down and discuss so we able to get small understanding about how this government will run the country. Until we meet again tomorrow on another beautiful edition, Mina Babure Kablai. God bless una and God bless me. Self for the pray for una. We love una.
Thank you very much for your call. You will like, you will subscribe. But if you not like it, please consider for like and share the program. And for you who not subscribe yet, please consider for subscribe. Subscribe no more, especially on YouTube. We need to see you. We don't know that, yeah. Not for it. I don't say you did. You know, in fact, you know I'm for grief for like. You ain't not like now, you don't like the program. But I'm not saying you don't like the program. So I like the program, eh? When I transform this now to 500 quick one. Thank you very much. We love you so much. Well, until then, we'll meet again. My name is Pierre, the Freedom Fighter. Well, let them go. If they're not showing me,
skiddy bone pantan, rugger spice. Get used to this. Whoa. Fire. Boom. We never them, then they take free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. Say let them go. If no go, we country no go good. Let them go. If no go, we go die pampo. The way the system they go, we not be voting us so if I go. The way the system they go, we not be voting us so if I go. I said the two ship press and give we the thief and they sell and they put all of them pockets. United Nations in Tilly, they thief with money and they fly like a rocket. Now we don't tire with the violence, we don't tire for the jobless, for we right to go protest, for we right to the protest, every day thing they do, and I know they open the cheer, and they make I don't care. When we talk, we must say make we be above. We never them, then they thief free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no nyampi alam dum blow. The new direction now, sorry they go. Investor no they come, then they pack and go. Alone economy, no they go. Azagazi, Azagazi, c'est the country don't bend. Azagazi, Azagazi, c'est the country don't bend. Azagazi, c'est the country don't bend. Azagazi, Azagazi, c'est the country don't bend. When we tell them the truth, them vex. They say we're not terrorists, we're not the watch them. 2023, they don't fulfill the promise, we're not the catch them. We never them, then they take free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they cry, say we never them, no so like lie. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they cry, say the part they sleep, the mommy where they near around, make you wake up. The part they sleep, the one them where they near around, let them wake up. Nagazi gaga there. Unge bridge where you promise we with the pray make you make up. Oh, if you not make am 2023, we say for no go take am. We go whip am, we go keep am. The power where we give am, we go take am. Me sing say Azagazi, Azagazi, say the country don't bend. Azagazi, Azagazi, say the country don't bend. I woulda box up the country. I woulda make we bell empty. I woulda go kill a Tombo. I woulda go kill a Losa. I woulda go kill a Padema. Innocent people are McKenny. You know them where we vote for. They pull up on Babati. I woulda the thief in a corner. I woulda them brick and corona. We never them then the thief free money. We never them no they sorry for it. We never them no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they cry say we never them no so like lie. We never them make we country they cry. We never them no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they cry say they watch from the power the country lowly. When they not say them don't fuck up now, they want change the story. We were not born meat and follow we survive now God in glory. The country lonely, the people are sorry, yeah. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. Azagazi, say the country don't bend. Azagazi, say the country don't bend.